Hey guys, it's Lisa from Arcane and Stellar, and today we've got a 4-pile pick-a-card reading. This particular reading comes from a request that was left by Diana, and I just want to say thanks, Diana, for commenting all the time. I love it. I love when you leave comments, and I really appreciate that you take the time to. So, Diana had a request, and her post said, a reading suggestion. What will happen between my long-distance crush and I next? What does he think about me or the situation? Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, this is what we're going to be answering. What is your long distance crush or person that you're thinking about? Maybe it's a long distance relationship. I won't limit this reading to only a crush. So what do they think about the situation? What will happen next between the two of you? These are the questions that we're going to be answering today. And so here we go. Use your intuition to pick a pile here. You can see the numbers. And I just want to thank everybody who subscribes to my channel or who subscribes after this. Welcome, and thank you very much, for taking your time to watch the videos, and I really hope that they resonate with you, and if they do, you can always leave me a comment and let me know. I love hearing from you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks. Hey guys, so if you've chosen pile number 1, this is your reading. So what's going to happen next between you and your long distance person? So we have the top row, which is kind of representing what happens next, and then their feelings are down below in the second row. And then we have some romance angel cards and the Gaia Oracle. I have links to all of the decks that I'm using in the description box if you're interested. And they are affiliate links. It just helps me, if you do and I get some money from it, it helps me buy more decks for the channel. That's really what I have it set to Amazon gift cards. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so for the what's going to happen next, we have the 9 of Wands, the 2 of Cups, and the Justice System. Justice System. The Justice System. Okay, that was like one of those slips that was meant to be, because actually I wanted to talk about the Justice System. Oh wow, that's funny. Okay, sorry guys, I'm not. This is serious. I'm not laughing about this. I'm just laughing at how silly I am sometimes. The Justice System. Okay, so I'll just go to this Justice card right away because that's kind of what's been on my mind and what's kind of getting me in the situation. Like when I first pulled these cards, I was like, oh, okay. And I'll tell you my story a little bit. I met my husband on the internet like way back in 2003. So, being in an international relationship can be tough because, there's a lot of obstacles sometimes, especially if you are from countries, different countries, especially with visa problems. You might be from a country that, isn't cool, and I'm not saying that at all in a haughty manner at all. Please understand me. That, isn't allowed to travel. And so it's not so easy to be in an international relationship when you're from different countries. So this makes me wonder if there is something that is keeping you guys apart legally. Like, for instance, one of you can't get a visa, or, you know what I mean, that type of situation. So when it comes to what's happening next with that, I really just feel like the Justice is highlighting that. We have the, 2 of Cups, and there is like a meeting of two together, right? And it's really about a soul connection, happiness together, a strong bond. And there is definitely that between the two of you in the future. But I do see with the Justice and the 9 of Wands that there's an exhaustion of some kind. It's like maybe it seems like it's almost impossible for you guys to ever be in the same place or something. Do you know what I'm saying? That there's almost like this thought of wanting to give up. And so you may become kind of to a darker moment where you maybe feel frustrated. But I do think that it could be possible for you guys to work this out. Because I do see that 2 of Cups, and that's like what happens next. This isn't really about feelings. This is about what's going to happen next, right? So I'm just reminding myself of that. Just that I do think that there is a chance that many of you will be able to get past this Justice, like you will be able to find that the way to meet each other. or to get together or be in the same place type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And we have the Romance Angels card over here. Let your friends help you. And there may be a way for your friends to help you in some way. Perhaps there's somebody that you could look to for advice in the situation. You know what I mean? If there needs to be, this can be all depending on the countries. If there needs to be an invitation made for the person to come to your country, maybe you maybe aren't capable of doing it because you don't have the right documentation. These are just, possibilities. They might be able to help you. You might have somebody that that could help you in the situation. And vice versa for your person as well. So, and then we have, engagement over here. So, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So I do feel like many of you could get past this. Whatever is keeping you apart. I just feel like for many of you it's legal. And like I said, the justice system, you just have to go through some kind of system where, that many people do in long distance relationships. Now, I mean, with the justice system as well, we could think that perhaps it could be like a situation where maybe the person is imprisoned in some way. I don't think that relates to this card, but just because that word slipped out of my mouth so easily, I think that connotates more with the justice system and jail and stuff like that. If there is that type of situation, there could be, fatigue about the situation, just being like kind of overburdened by it, but still wanting to maintain that strong bond together. Now, how does your person feel? We have the Two of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and the Ten of Cups. And the Two of Cups is about, okay, first of all, let's look at the Two of Wands, right? He's got one in his hand, but the other one is kind of nailed to, the side of the wall there. So it can't move with him. So it's kind of a stationary card, and it does indicate like a choice of some kind. Sometimes, it can indicate that all of the twos can. But it can be a card of like longing. They're holding that world in their hand, and that really signifies the fact that this is like a long distance type of thing. They're thinking about somebody far away. They're thinking about something that's far away that, exists in the world. And I do think that there's a certain longing that they have for you in the situation. We have the Eight of Cups. Now, this isn't the best card to get because it can also indicate, just like this, it may indicate where this feeling in the future, the near future is of this fatigue. Again, the Eight of Cups is kind of like a reflection of that. They may be feeling very worn out about, like, maybe not knowing, like, kind of like almost giving up. Like, they're just like, I'm at the end of my rope. I don't really know if we can continue like this. And, that type of thing. Maybe it's better just to walk away. But then, at the same time, we have the Ten of Cups. And that's all about, happiness and wanting to be a family and wanting to be together and raise children and, kind of maybe go further with life. It's a happy card. And so they're not completely writing you off, but they may feel very down about the situation. It's really bugging them. And they may, have thoughts of like, is this worth it? Is this worth it? Yet they do still feel like you make them incredibly happy. And they still long for the situation. Now, we do have engagement. So it says, like I said, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. And that could be that they want to have that higher level of commitment with you. But at this moment, their feelings are very, like, giving up. And we have Winter's End. This is more like advice for you more than anything. So it says regeneration, rebirth, and positive outcome. And this card speaks about, one moment, I'm just going to get up and check my camera to make sure that it's still recording. Yeah, my camera stops at 10 minutes, so as everybody probably knows that who watches all my videos, I complain about it all the time. So, with the Gaia Oracle card, we have this Winter's End card, and I'm going to grab the guidebook here a little bit because I don't use this all the time, but I felt like it would be appropriate today. So, it's about, well, as we can see, regeneration, rebirth, and positive outcome. And you see that in the card, the first you know, parts of spring are coming, like the first flowers, the first blooms. And it's about a card of new opportunities and being, you know, new things coming to you, and things that may have not been possible before are becoming more possible. And the one interesting thing about the guidebook here, because I've opened this up earlier and that's why I wanted to grab it out. The last sentence says, this card also signifies travel and positive outcomes. So there could be, you know, if you're feeling in this energy of also giving up, you know, I think that the best thing is to really keep hanging on a little bit. If you really are invested in the situation, of course. If you're not invested in it and you really feel like maybe it's not worth it, then obviously, you know, maybe you could let it go. But I do see that this situation could possibly improve if you can, you know, try to let your friends help you in some way. Like, even if it's not a matter of like, okay, with this justice card, you know, it came out to me as like one of those things where there may be, you know, complications with visas, or, you know, that type of governmental type of restrictions and traveling and immigration and so on and so forth. If it's not that, it could be, you know, that your friends can help you in other ways, like perhaps to see what is the best situation, you know, what's the best outcome for the situation, like on how to, you know, maybe meet up in some way. Because I do see like that meeting, it's almost like you're going to meet, like I get that feeling that there will be a moment where you guys come together. But it does seem like it could be after a lot of hard work. And I'm going back to this justice thing. I really feel like that for many of you, it involves the law in some way. And I do think it's probably more like, you know, international type of laws. Maybe not. Maybe it's that, you know, perhaps, for instance, this could be another situation that, you know, you're not able to leave the state or the area you're in because of maybe something that's happened to you in the past. Or, you know, like I knew a guy once who couldn't leave the state because of a prior conviction he had, right? But then I also know a girl who couldn't leave the state because she had shared custody, right? So that could be, you know, these are just other options that you may be trying to get past in the relationship. And that may be, you know, still going to be prevalent, you know, in the upcoming, you know, I would say few months. But I do think that with this Winter's End card, that this, you know, darker period could come to a close. So, I really hope that that resonates for you, pile number one. If it does, you can let me know in the comments. And I wish you all the best. It just does seem like it could be more of a serious situation, like I said. But because I know that some of you may just have a crush on someone far away. Let me just think about that. I feel like this Justice card has something to do with something that's keeping you guys from seeing each other in some way. So, yeah, just let me know in the comments about that. I'm curious. If you want to, if it's personal, you don't have to, of course. But just out of curiosity, if I'm onto something there or not. I know that sometimes when we read, we tend to put our own experiences into things because that's how we, you know, relay our knowledge, right? By, you know, going off of our experiences. And I just, of course, go immediately to my own experiences sometimes. And that's kind of a crutch, you know, in a way. But I know that I had issues with my husband and trying to make sure that it could all work out, especially in international relationships. But yeah, I wish you all the best, pile number one, and take care. Hey, pile number two. So this is your reading to those of you that have chosen this pile. And so what is going on with you in your, you know, long distance person, whether it be a crush or, you know, long distance relationship of some kind? What is going to go on with you guys? What's coming up next? How are they feeling about you? That's what's represented up here and down below. So up here, what's happening next? How are they feeling about you is down here. So, and then we have Romance Angel cards and the Gaia Oracle. And this is really, advice for you. I'm going to actually start with this. I didn't do that in the previous pile, but this is called The Search, and it's called Feeling Lost, Confused, and Lonely. And we have a naked woman here that's, vulnerably crouched down and looking ahead. And the sun is shining behind her. And I can see that many of you are at this moment feeling very lost about the situation. You're not really sure how to move forward. And you may have recently put yourself on the line in some way, admitting your vulnerability or putting yourself in a vulnerable position with this person. Or you may just feel vulnerable in general about it. When the sun is shining on the nakedness, it's especially when you're not ready for it. Because in this card, winter is ending. And it's still winter a little bit, but it's about to end because the sun is starting to shine again. And like how we all have, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I get so used to wearing all this bulky stuff in the winter that when I have to, when it starts to get warm again, I start to feel uncomfortable. I'm like, no, everyone can see me more. I don't know, maybe it's my own little goofy thing. But there's this, when it first changes, it's kind of hard to adjust sometimes, even though I love the sun, it can be hard to be seen, especially if you are a private person or, you're feeling like you're putting your emotions on the line in some way. It can be hard to feel seen. And so many of you, I do feel like, are in a state of confusion. You're feeling a bit lonely and isolated from this person. You're feeling lost. And I just want to remind you that, seasons pass and eventually time will heal anything, okay? I promise that. So, let's get into this. With the King of Pentacles here, and the Hermit, and the Nine of Cups. So this is what's going to happen next. The King of Pentacles is really a stable man. He makes decisions with maturity and keeping responsibility in mind, and how it can benefit everybody in a stable way. And so I do feel like there is some stability maybe coming to the situation. Perhaps if the person hasn't been very stable, the person that you're thinking about, they are going to start becoming more stable in some way. And this could be that they decide that they're settling down into something. So I hate to say this, and I don't know. Okay, I think this can go either way, and this is going to be one of these readings where it's totally divided, and I'm really sorry for that. But with the Hermit here, there could be a recognition by you two that this isn't just going to work out, and that you need to make a stable life choice, and that requires backing away from everything a little bit. Now, for some of you, this is just what you need, because this is what will lead you to the Nine of Cups, which is about wish fulfillment and happiness and abundance, especially emotionally, right? Now, that could mean that you are going to find stuff elsewhere, right? That both of you are going to move on and find happiness elsewhere. And this, actually, you moving on may bring that. It may put, some stuff to rest that isn't helping you guys emotionally. For some of you, this period may benefit you in some way because it may help you come together. So that's where I'm saying that this is going to be one of those things where it's maybe a little bit, there are two sides, and I'm sorry about that. Really am, because I don't want to, because with these energies, I don't really want to give any concrete answers, because, I really think it can go either way depending on the situation. So for their feelings, we have the Ace of Wands, Death, Nine of Pentacles, and Eight of Pentacles. So with the Ace of Wands, sorry, and passion, definitely this person feels quite passionate about you. They, you take their breath away, you get them excited, they, smile about you, they really appreciate you, and there's probably a lot of, sexual attraction or attraction in general to you. But we have the Death card, and the death, it's about rebirth. But in a relationship, it means that something in a relationship, in their feelings, is going through a rebirth. And it could be that they feel like this relationship is dying, that perhaps you've cut them off, and they're like, it's maybe getting to the point where they're like, okay, well, I guess it's over, and I need to kind of, move on. It could also be that they know that something in the situation has to die for it to move forward in their life, for instance, or your life. So that's what I'm going to say about that card in this situation for their feelings. Now, with the Nine of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles, it's actually interesting because the 8 works and the 9 enjoys, right? It's kind of like the success that came after this. And I don't know, but for some of you, I feel like there could be a difference in your living, in your situations, your financial situations. There could be, or your life situations, that they're focused on work. And maybe you're a little bit more, I don't know. I feel like as if there's some kind of difference in between you two. They see you as very successful and abundant and, materially stable. With the Eight of Pentacles, of course, that's their feelings still, but the feelings for an Eight of Pentacles it can be repetitive thought. So they may be thinking about this situation a lot. But it also could mean that they're just trying to focus on their life. And they're just focusing on work and getting things done. And that could be where the King of Pentacles comes in. They might come to a more stable place in their life where they're really focusing on those things. And maybe not the relationship. Or maybe this is going to benefit the relationship. See, that's where your intuition and, your knowledge is going to come in. Is it financial problems that are keeping you apart? If that is, then I think there's going to be a totally great outcome for you guys. If they're thinking, okay, how can I save up money to figure out or finish this degree so I can move or finish what I need to do. If that is the case, then you definitely probably have a chance. Although maybe right now it might be a little bit rocky with this Death card. The feelings may be a little bit rocky right now. But nevertheless, I still see you in a very good light. One moment, I'm just going to check my camera. I apologize. My camera only goes for 10 minutes. And so, sorry. I apologize. My camera only goes for 10 minutes, and so I have to check it so that it doesn't cut me off and then I'm talking to nobody. Because that's awful. When I've been rambling for a while and I forget the time. So, yeah, like I said, you do have healing family issues, and so I wonder almost what that could be pertaining to. I'm thinking about getting a clarifier here. Yeah, there's some kind of anxiety in the situation with the mice here. I took a Lenormand card to clarify this because it was the closest thing to me. It was in reach. I have all my decks here laid out, but we have the mice, and the mice is all about anxiety and things that eat away at you. And there's definitely in this person, there's anxiety going on in this situation, a lot of anxiety and worrying that's eating away. And for them, they might have some family issues that are going on that really bother them. So maybe some kind of commitments to their family of some kind. And yeah, I think that you guys will know if that's relevant. If it isn't, then you could just drop that. But because when I do these readings, it's not always meant to be that every message is for each person, right? That's why I try to say as many things as I can, because different things are going to be for different people, because it is a general reading. So it's not personal, and I always ask for the messages to be accurate and help each person, but sometimes maybe it's not relevant. But I do see that generally, even with disregarding the healing family issues, there's definitely anxiety in this situation, a lot of things that are eating at both of you, and so that definitely represents that. But there could be some kind of family issues if they are trying to do some kind of thing where they're trying to get, like if it's like a school situation, like where they're still studying or something, or, working. There could be family involved in this that's keeping them from moving. Let's see. Well, we do have the Sun card. That's a really nice card. That's good fortune and happiness. So I do think that, and yeah, the Sun. So yeah, there we go. I definitely feel like this situation is going to turn out for the best, whether you guys stay together or not. But I definitely, yeah, I see, like I said, I see there's passion on their end. Definitely. There's definite passion. And they definitely think of you in a positive light with this Nine of Pentacles, although they might feel like you're a bit above them in some way, because I do see this Eight of Pentacles, and it's just, that's also a card of concentration. We had the mice, and I do feel like there's something that is holding them back, but I can't really say what it is. I'm not seeing it. Like I said, it could be something family related, or it could be that they have obligations that they're still trying to get done. Like, for instance, I said, like, they could be still studying, or they have a contract somewhere and they can't just leave, or they have family and they can't just leave, and it's that type of thing. There's something in that realm that is holding them back. But they're definitely thinking a lot about you, I think. Or concentrating on work. Depending, And then with the Nine of Pentacles, positive. They think about you very highly. But the Death card, yeah, there's some kind of, perhaps you guys are in no contact and, they think it's over. But they still feel that passion, if that's the case. And I do feel like in the near future there's going to be some kind of stable decision made, stability reached in some way, or stable decision made. Whether that means they want to stay in it or not, or you decide you're like, this isn't really good for me, I need to move on. And there may be a pulling away from each other and taking time to reflect. But this is ultimately going to bring you happiness. So whether that means that you guys will come back into contact or not, or, decide to just remain friends, or whatever the case may be, I don't want to give you a definite outcome, because whatever it is, it will bring happiness. That's what I can promise you. It will lead to happiness. And like I said, with this card, you may be feeling lost and confused and lonely right now, but it's going to end, and the sun's going to come out, and you may feel a little uncomfortable when you're vulnerable and stuff, but eventually you'll grow used to it, and things will blossom in your life, and they'll become better, okay? So, that's my reading for you, pile number 2, and I really hope that helps you. Hey guys, so if you've chosen pile number 3, this is your reading. Sorry, my voice. So, further, what's happening next is up here, and yeah, you guys got four cards for that, and then 3 cards down below for how they're feeling about you. So how is your person feeling about you, your long distance person, and then what's happening between the two of you next. This is a card for you, kind of a message for you, and then we have some angel cards right here that will also play into the reading. So we'll start off with what's happening next. We have the 6 of Cups, 2 of Cups, Ace of Wands, and 2 of Wands. Interesting. So we've got 2 2s, an ace, and 6 of Cups. And what's interesting to me about that is that there are, so the 6 of Cups is about nostalgia and feeling comfortable and revisiting. I do feel like many of you may already know this person, whether it's from this life or a past life. There's a connection between the two of you that really is something nostalgic, and there may be a meeting of you two again, where you kind of, or at least a situation in which you will like rehash maybe old memories and go over old memories and reminisce together. And we have the 2 of Cups. So there's a definite bond between the two of you. You definitely really have a certain affinity towards each other. You really get on well, and you have a connection. You can see there, it's like a hand clasp. Their hands are bound together, and so there's definitely, it could, a marriage of some kind. And not a marriage as in like married husband and wife, but like a marriage of your minds, of your, of your souls, and definite connection between the two of you. And we have the Ace of Wands, which is all about passionate new beginnings and excitement and new beginnings, and just really gorgeous. I love that card. It's such a pretty card in this deck. It's one of my favorites, is that Ace of Wands card. And then we have the Two of Wands, and that can talk about waiting and anticipating. It can also talk about travel. So I do have a feeling that many of you are going to be meeting your person up somewhere. You're going to be reconnecting, or in some way, because I do feel like many of you know this person already. It's not like someone you haven't met before. It doesn't have to be, though. It could be that you've been, like, for instance, if you've never met in real life before, you may have been friends online for a long time. You may have been connected for a very long time. And I do see that you guys are going to be meeting, I think, or going on a journey of some kind. And so, anyways, let's get back. So I definitely see some movement going on, and some choices about how you're going to be moving forward with this relationship. But yeah, so okay, let's get on to this. So we have the Magician, Nine of Pentacles, and the World for how do they feel about you. So I think that they right now are feeling that the Magician makes things happen. The Magician has all of the elements at his disposal to make things happen. And so I do feel like they feel like, that they want to manifest something with you, that they want to create something with you, they want to come together in some way. And with the Nine of Pentacles, they're feeling like you bring a lot of so the Nine of Pentacles is all about, financial stability and wealth and abundance, right? And so they feel like you are of that energy, that you've got it going on. Basically, you've got it going on, and in all aspects of life. And it can even sometimes indicate them feeling like you're a little bit out of their league, although I don't think so exactly with the Magician here. They could also feel like you have the control in this situation as well, by the way, that maybe it's up to you. And I do feel like that's the case, and I'll get into that in a minute why I think that. But they might feel like this is all up to you. Do you want to meet them or not? Do you want to get together with them or not? It's kind of like the ball's in your court type of thing. And again, with the World, it's almost like that. Like you hold all the answers, or all the power, sort of, in this situation. That's how I'm reading that. We have You Deserve Love. So I definitely feel like they feel like you deserve love. And keep an open mind. So with this keep an open mind, and that Magician, and the Nine of Pentacles, and like all of that, what I was talking about, we have the card Apprehension, which is your advice card, and it's moving out into the world, doubt and fear, right? And so going to the guidebook here, it talks about this, and it says, it's time to get going. There's nothing to fear. Take the first step and just do it, and you will find that all will work out for you. The longer you procrastinate, the harder it will be. It's understandable that you feel unsure of yourself. The first step is sometimes the hardest. You have much to offer, and you will realize this as you move out into the world. Be brave. Even if you initially make mistakes, you will be well received. Treat every day as a learning experience. As your confidence increases, so too will your self-esteem and success. You are a sincere and beautiful person. Do not doubt yourself. And so I do feel like perhaps some of you are feeling some apprehension about the situation. Perhaps you feel like it's not going to work out. You might be doubting yourself. And I do think that they recognize that this is kind of your thing. Like, whether you want something to happen or not. That you hold the power. That you have the abundance and, the success to make this choice. And you hold the answers to all of this. So I feel like, this is a message to you to keep an open mind. Don't limit yourself to thinking that maybe you can't work this out in some way. like I said, everybody's going to have a different situation, but I'm hoping that this resonates with you. But I do feel like you feel kind of powerless in the situation, but you're actually not, and they don't see you that way. They see you as a very powerful. And you know, there's definitely the ability. Okay, and that's what I want to talk about this, with this, the Two of Wands and the Two of Cups. There is a choice indicated with this, right? You don't have, like the bond, it can be severed. One of them can just back out and say, I'm not doing this, right? And so we have to remember with these two cards here, the same with the travel. He looks like he's ready to go, right? But is he going to just turn around and say, you know, fuck it? Oh, wait, I mean, screw this, sorry. You know, there's that choice there. And so I think you are going to be faced with a choice of some kind in which you're going to have to make a decision about this. Whether you want to move forward or not. And a lot of this is going to be up to you. You hold the power in the situation. So that's what I've got for you, pile number 3. And if it resonates, you know, let me know in the comments, because this is an interesting reading. So take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, if you've chosen pile number 4, this is your reading. So what's going on with you and your long distance person? So we have up here above what will happen next, and then down below their feelings towards you in the situation. And then we have some romance angel cards right here, and some, this is a Gaia Oracle card that's going to be for you. So, what's going to happen next? Okay, I want to start here with this pile with the feelings, okay? I just feel like it for this pile. So we have the Horned God, the Moon, and the Star. These are significant cards because they're all major arcana. The Horned God in the Green Witch Tarot is the Emperor. And then we have the Moon and the Star, which are, you know, it's just like traditional tarot decks. With the Horned God or the Emperor in this position, for how they're feeling about you, is that they feel as if, okay, the Emperor is a leader, and they are a person who has the control and takes the lead. And they're very analytical, and they think things through, and they do things with a rational head. And so, I don't know, with feelings, I feel like as if it could be the type of thing where they're very controlled with their, you know, their feelings. They're controlling them. I do feel like this is because of the illusion of the moon, right? They don't know. And I have a feeling as well that you don't know with this perception card, which I'll get into in a minute. I have a feeling that they're not sure that this is actually legit, right? That it could actually work out, that you're who you say you are. Like, I do have a vibe that you don't know this person that well. It may be, you know, someone you know from the internet, or that you met briefly, type of thing. Like, that may not resonate with some of you, but I do feel like for majority of you, this is the situation. And they have this feeling of wanting to not, you know, be vulnerable. The Emperor would never be vulnerable, ever, right? So it's all about being controlling and tactful, and yeah. And like I said, there's a feeling of uncertainty. Like, is this for real? Like, that Moon card, it can bring a lot of illusions and stuff. And so that's what makes me think that for many of you, this could be like even a virtual type of thing where you've never met face to face, or you barely know each other, because they may not know. They're like, is this person I think they are really the person they think they are? But they hope you are. With the Star here, there's a longing with the Star, hope with the Star. So there's definitely a deep longing for them, for this to be legit. They definitely wish for it. And I think that's important to know. So I do think that with heart-to-heart conversations, you could perhaps break through some of these, like, confusion, and really get to know more about their hopes for the situation and for you, and maybe break through this Emperor type of attitude, because I do have a feeling that this person isn't exactly as open about their feelings as you are, perhaps. So And then we have perception over here, which is beyond the veil of illusion. And like I said, for some of you, you might even feel the same way. You're like, what is going on with this person? I really don't even know, right? Like, is this a thing or is it not a thing? And I'm going to grab the guidebook here. It says, the lady featured on this card looks directly at the observer. She radiates love and wisdom, yet stands firmly in her own truth. From this standpoint, she is able to see beyond the veil of illusion. She has shown up in your reading today to reflect these same qualities within you. You are advised to stand your ground with regards to a particular person or issue. Stand within your own truth and don't be swayed by another's beliefs, opinions, or views. If it doesn't feel right, then it's not. Trust your intuition and gut feeling on this one. Be true to yourself. You can respect another's views without having to change your whole value system. If it doesn't align with your values, then don't take it on. And I just think what this speaks to is that you may also feel like, you know, you might have certain intuition about this person, and I think it could go either way. And I know that intuition can be such a tricky thing, because sometimes you're like, is my intuition just being the negative Nancy that's in the back of my head, or is it the hopeful part of me? Right? I don't know. That's my struggle, like my real struggle, like for real. But I do feel like, if you're drawn to this person, there might be a reason for it. And, you could just trust that, If you do have people in your life that are like, no way, maybe it's time not to listen to them. Because I do feel like we have the Knight of Thummies up here with what's going to happen next. And it is a card of anxiety and stress and sleepless nights and not, really being in your head about something. And so I do feel like that many of you are going to be in the upcoming, time, and you probably already are now, it's coming up, is that you're going to be in that state of not knowing where to turn. And you may feel like that, like, where's my intuition in this? Am I being too hopeful? Am I being too negative? Like, what do I, which direction do I go into? But I do feel like some of you are going to come across something, like, you might even try to pursue this. You might decide, you might have a heart-to-heart conversation and decide, hey, let's do this, let's meet up, let's do it. And I do see that many of you probably are going to meet up with this person. And I don't want to give a time frame on that. But yeah, I'm not going to give a time frame on that. I'm not comfortable doing that. But I do think that you guys will have that option. You have to also remember that aces are potentials. They are not guarantees. So if, like, I'm just giving you advice here with this heart-to-heart, you have this opportunity to create a new love between the two of you, like, to really spark something. But it's an opportunity that has to be taken and, taken advantage of. And so you have to bust through this, like, perceptions that you both have and get to the truth and not just sit in this, like, this hope status, you know what I mean? Like this, not status, as like this hope atmosphere, there should be hope, but you don't want to stick there and just be stagnant in it, right? You want to move forward, and to get there, that requires, making the decision to get there. And I do think that having heart-to-heart conversations about what you guys really want moving forward is going to help you. And I think that for some of you, if you do decide to do that, you have the chance to really get together maybe and get to know each other better and maybe try to figure out a way where it can work out. So that's what I'm saying for you, pile number 4. If this didn't resonate and you're like, no, I already know this person and we're already in a relationship, I don't know, maybe it's not the reading for you. Because I do feel like most of the people that get this pile, or that this is for, are in a situation where it is somebody that maybe they don't know in real life yet, or haven't met in real life yet, or they barely know them, type of thing. So if it resonates, let me know. And I wish you all the best, and I'll see you guys in the next video.